video game box art is supposed to attract gamers, not send them running.
You certainly know how to keep a girl hanging, Harv.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 worst video game box arts.
Hold on, I'll get you out.
Number 10, Cheggers Party Quiz.
Hey, hiya! It's me, Cheggers! Wahey!
If you live in the US, you're probably wondering who this awkward-looking man is. That's Keith Chegwin, or as he's sometimes called, Cheggers, an English TV personality who has a lot of personality.
What are they doing in there? Wahey! You're useless, you are!
Apparently someone decided that this guy needed his own video game, and in 2007, this Europe-exclusive title was released.
Pull up a seat, make yourself comfy, and let's get on with the game! Wahey!
The cover features a horrible CGI-rendered version of Cheggers, complete with blocky hands and a creepy smile, none of which are too inviting. The back of the box actually threatens the buyer to get it now or he'll be round your house. Hopefully Cheggers will stay far, far away.
Not sure, eh? Time to go channel hop.
Number 9, Resident Evil 6.
How about this? You heard of this? What is that?
Every good horror game needs gut-wrenching box art that just exudes fear. Resident Evil 6 gave us the number 6, which appears to be made out of strands of DNA.
Never know what to expect around here.
Perhaps they wanted to steer away from featuring the main characters on the boxes and go with something a little more mysterious. Still, the cover is pretty forgettable, unless you go on the internet, where some fans believe that the 6 kinda looks like a giraffe getting a sexual favor. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
I'll bet you get the hell out of my bar.
Number 8, Forsaken. What does a crying, tattooed woman have to do with a space shooter? Your guess is as good as ours. Forsaken is a memorable game for its 360-degree movement and addictive multiplayer, but this cover is just baffling. They may have been going for some extra eye candy to attract the intended audience, since the game is rated M for mature, but why is she crying? Why does she have a heart-shaped tattoo of the game's title under her eye? We can't help but wonder how many people were confused by this cover. Probably not the best marketing decision. Number 7, Batman Arkham City, Game of the Year Edition.
So anyway, here's the deal. Mr. J is really not up to a visit right now.
Bad box art doesn't always equate a bad game. In fact, Batman Arkham City is on this list because it was so good that when they redesigned the cover for the Game of the Year Edition, they weren't gonna let you forget it.
The infamous Playboy millionaire has never been one to...
Billionaire, Vicky. Millionaires was so last year.
The Standard Edition features a clean black and white picture of Batman looking over the city, with red blood smeared on his fist and nose to provide some nice subtle contrast. The Game of the Year Edition, however, is bombarded with countless quotes from websites and magazines giving the game perfect scores. Seriously, did they pat themselves hard enough on the back with this one?
I feel I should thank you. Capturing Bruce Wayne is so much easier than Batman.
Number 6, Snow White and the 7 Clever Boys.
This is my song, I'll sing it now.
Here's another game that American players should be glad they missed, because the Europe-only release of Snow White and the 7 Clever Boys plays just as bad as it looks and sounds.
Oh, there's a funny face on the chimney. Look, and the smoke. What is going on?
The developer Phoenix Games released a few fairy tale-based titles with just horrendous CGI box art. However, Snow White takes the cake for being the worst.
Well done.
The majority of the gameplay is a 2D cartoon, so we're not sure why the box art needed 3D characters. We're just glad that these creepy creations were never put into motion, because the lifeless look on Snow White's pale face is the stuff of nightmares.
She's so jealous of me, so very jealous of me.
Number 5, Carnage Rally. The next box art is just a stain on an otherwise decent combat racing game. The awkward face, blue hair, and weird angle make you question what sort of effect the designer had in mind. The bruises on the man's face are way too severe. This isn't exactly a back alley brawler. Add in the lame blurred car and the boring checkered flag background, and you have a game that was probably passed up by a lot of people because of the pathetic packaging. We wonder if the model on the front cover had any idea what he was posing for. Number 4. Mega Man. The Blue Bomber's introduction to the US was not a graceful one, as the cover of the first game features a disproportionate, middle-aged man in a yellow and blue jumpsuit holding a gun. In the background, you can see palm trees, explosions, and strange-looking buildings, 'cause reasons. Japan got the box art right from the very beginning, while the US didn't accurately depict Mega Man on a cover until the third game. Gamers never saw it coming when Capcom actually added the bad box art version of Mega Man to Street Fighter Cross Tekken, so the modern world could finally see this abomination in action. Hey, at least Capcom can poke a little bit of fun at themselves.
Take this! Mega
Number 3. All Sega Master System box arts. We're not sure what Sega's angle was for the cover art of Master System games, but the first word that comes to mind is boring, because most of the covers consist of a single image set on what appears to be graph paper. The game Black Belt features a tiny foot kicking the bottom left corner. Shoplifter has a helicopter, and Pro Wrestling shows a headless wrestler holding a decapitated head. You think it can't get any worse? How about the game Ghost House, where the cover is literally just a picture of someone holding the game? This is probably one of the many reasons why the Master System didn't become a household name in the US. Number 2. Phalanx. Side-scrolling shooters were very common in the late 80s and early 90s. However, not too many of them featured an elderly man playing the banjo on the front. The team designing the cover for this game could not have missed the mark any harder, which makes us think that they weren't even aiming in the first place. The game's box art definitely made the game stand out in its day, which is probably why everyone passed up the more recent Game Boy Advanced port, which went with a conventional space shooter cover. Before we cringe our way to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1. Mystery of the Druids.
Before we could correct our mistake. Unfortunate affair. And now we got this lunatic killer.
It's hard to imagine a situation in which someone would be making this ridiculous face. Maybe if a car ran over your foot, or you just smelled a rotting animal carcass?
Why do you need alcohol for your work?
Certainly not in order to drink it, Halligan.
But for this suspenseful point-and-click adventure, it just doesn't work because it's so out of place and kind of funny looking. Since this is a mystery game, the creators were probably trying to spook the audience, but that definitely backfired.
Oh, damn! That's true.
I mean, would anyone take Back to the Future seriously if Marty McFly had this expression? How about Nathan Drake? Or Barack Obama? How about this guy? Do you agree with our list?
I've got something for you. Apple Schnapps.
Which video game do you think has the worst box art? For more informative top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Interesting. Channel hopping, anyone? Hey!